Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is fine and is going to have a good day. I just came back from Paris. I visited the Asana team and went to the Asana World Tour. It was great to have a workshop with people and see how people react to features and questions that they have to ask. What would you do if you couldn't use subtasks? This is something we've seen in some companies that actually forbid the use of subtasks altogether. It usually comes from realizing the problems that come with the subtasks, and especially the missing pieces, the gaps that you have in subtasks implementation. For example, the project doesn't show up on the subtask in your My Task view. You don't see them directly from the list view. They don't show up on the calendar. So some companies actually decided to forbid them altogether. When you can't use subtasks, you have to find other ways to organize your project. One way is to simply put everything at the top level, everything at the root level. So a project, instead of being that very deep structure, that tree of thing being embedded into another, that becomes just a very long list, a flat list. When that's the case, I think the sections become even more important because you do have to structure everything. But those sections might become too big, so you might have to split sections into other sections. Also, one thing that I do very, very often is the use of dependencies, because everything that was a subtask, when suddenly goes to the top level, you sometimes need to somehow link things together. You have to group them together. Having dependencies is actually a way to do this. You can have the main task being blocked by all the steps that go after or even before, depending on how you structure everything. Another way would be to have like a prefix on those tasks to make sure that it's really obvious what they belong to and be able to group somehow things together. That being said, I think subtasks are very useful in some cases if you agree, if you accept to go beyond some of the limitations. And even the limitations that I've listed, they all have workarounds. The main one is basically multi-homing the subtask into the main project, usually within a special section at the bottom that doesn't bother anyone. When you do this, then suddenly the subtask is also a task and benefits from everything a task has. So this is something we sometimes do. It's hard to automate, so it's not ideal, but this can definitely solve some of the scenario that we've seen. All right, so let me know what you think about subtasks. I'm not sure this is really a topic for a Friday, but anyway, have a good day, have a good weekend, and see you next week.